just do a heel to toe. Now, still holding on to that idea that you are embodied light, and noticing if you could actually see an image of what that might, how you might represent that. Even, and I've often said, colored pencils, crayons, or just a pen, whatever, you can represent you as embodied light. Also go to the place of understanding that there's a fabric. They call it the time-space fabric. They call it the quantum field. And it really looks a lot like like the interstitium that's named the fascia within our bodies. So you might take a look at, what does that look like? What does fascia look like? What are the images of the quantum field? Then bring the fingertips together and the thumbs to your heart. Take a deep breath in and out. And consider that embodied light, in the wisdom of the yoga tradition, they developed this understanding, a way to evaluate life in the body through the 7 chakras. And those 7 chakras represent the colors of the rainbow. And those colors of the rainbow, when you put them together and they're on the electromagnetic spectrum, they're right in the middle of what we have known as the electromagnetic spectrum, which is still being discovered as we expand our knowledge. So here we're actually activating the first 5, and you can think of earth as the feet and the legs and the sacrum. And then you think of the water element as the belly, 2nd chakra, orange color, the red color at the legs. And then think of the yellow color at the solar plexus. And you can, put your hands right there if you want and feel these different understandings of how did we come to this. Solar plexus, right above the belly button. 2nd chakra right below the belly button, that congruent confluence between the two. Then to the heart, which is the color green. And then to the throat, which is light blue. And you get to the throat, and this is an integrative posture. Integrative spot of the first, of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and you get to the 5th. And this is where we speak our truth. It's having our voice. And the voice in many cultures, for many different kinds of people, that got shut down for many different reasons. This paradigm shift has to also be the shift of into more equanimity, more equality, more honoring the voice, all voices. Then take your fingers and tap the 3rd eye today. So you're tapping the 3rd eye and opening that deep, dark indigo blue. Then tap right below, at the top of the cheekbone. I fully love and accept myself exactly as I am. Even if, even when, even with. You could put that in, because we have things that we work on accepting. Then to the above the lip, first lip above the nose, tapping. I fully love and accept myself exactly as I am. And then to the dimple in the chin. I fully love and accept myself exactly as I am in this moment. I am that I am, and I am my I am presence, and am I one with all that is. Then to the collarbone. Right below the collarbone, there's 2 indentations. This is to regulate your meridians. And this is the central meridian that we're tapping at, the kidney meridian 27 up here at this little indentation. So we're activating the meridians. Then we're activating, as we go out to the sides, there's another little indentation and a little tiny sore spot. That's your lung meridian. That helps support also the heart. heart and lungs and the circulatory system, then to the sternum, and this is for your thymus gland. This supports the immune system. You can tap, you can pummel if you want your fists, little Tarzan movement. Then you can go to the first rib, and I like to do it with the sides of my hands because this also is that karate chop point in the energy medicine and meridian and tapping, which is really important in balancing all of our systems. Then I put it right down. I take the edge of my hand and I do it right at that rib. And this is for the spleen and pancreas and to metabolize all your food, your air, and your thoughts. Take a breath. Then you're going to tap down for your lymphatic system, the lymphatic system. And while you're tapping, what you're doing also is sort of going, okay, fascia, I'm going to tap you as well. Tap down the fascia. This is called the 5-minute energizing energy medicine routine. You tap anywhere you can. So really getting the lymphatic system underneath your arm, lots of lymph nodes there, underneath the breasts, down the shoulders. This is a system to, really get that the white blood cells to be there for you when you need them. Tap the neck, the shoulders, the head, the face, and then I go and you can tap the kidney area where the adrenals sit on top of those. That area, the kidneys. And so you're going to work with a calming of the adrenals through the tapping, and then take your hands and do 3 brushes. Brush down from the adrenals, down to breath. Okay. Then you're going to shake the body out. So shake it out. Remember, you are 80 to 90, 80% water at least. And some people say 75, 80, 85. They don't really know 90. They say you're 10% bacteria and everything else is mostly water. So then cross crawl. This is all part. This cross crawl, you can do it gentle. Tap the knee. You can do the elbow. You can bring your hands up to your head and you have to bend and twist. See which one is right for you. You can go slow. You don't have to go as fast as me. I clearly need to move energy. My energy gets stuck all the time and I need to move it. So that's cross crawl, and you're crossing the 2 sides of the brain. So then ground into the feet again. Toes, heel toe. Close your eyes for a moment and feel what you just did. Take a breath. Exhale with a sigh. And sigh. Then the breath of joy. Now, the breath of joy, all of these things that I'm doing in this beginning of this class are all to reset. Reset in 5 minutes. So it's a and a ha. Now, remember, when you do the ha, you can go all the way down to the floor if your body allows you. You can make it vigorous or just ha. You can do it seated in a chair. Ha. 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 Open up that mouth and ha. Ha. And really, that ha sound also is this vibration of letting go of the things that are stuck in your throat. Ha. You could go faster or slower. It's your own dance of the breath of joy. Bring the joy to yourself. Joyful season, we call it. But for some of us, it's a very sad season. And let it go. And one more last time. And then hook up. It's all part of this system. The hookup is the central meridian hookup. So we stimulated the meridians, and now we're stabilizing. Just notice if you ever feel unstable in any way, body, mind, or spirit, try this. The 3rd finger in the belly button, the 3rd finger at the 3rd eye. Proven energy medicine. You can study it. It's all studyable online. with Donna Eden. Okay. Then half sun salutation. Hands together. Now just imagine around the world that you are light. We, yoga sisters online, we are light. We're not disconnected. Zoom and technology makes it amazingly possible for us to do this in a way where we actually see each other instead of just imagine each other. So you go to the sun salutation, and the sun salutation is something that's done all over the world 24 hours a day. There's somebody doing it. So here we go. It's a prayer. Inhale the hands down and up. The arms come up and there's a tiny little back bend. And then exhale and bend your knees, and you're in some sort of position here, ragdoll. Now, if you need to have support, you can always be in a chair, just having a place to have your hands. So you come down, straight legs, flat back, look up. And again, you can do this with hands on a chair or a table, straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down, knees are bent. Inhale, arms open wide and up and to your heart. You can do this sitting on a chair too. Inhale down and up and back. Swan dive down, bend your knees. Ragdoll. Straight legs, flat back, look up. And your hands just sort of, go wherever your flat back and looking up takes you. And then exhale down, inhale up and back and to your heart. In honor of the 4 directions, we'll do this 2 more times. I'm going to show it on a chair. Inhale down and up and back. Swan dive down, bend the knees. Straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down, inhale up and back and to your heart. This last time, we're going to start with the half sun salutation and go into the dancing warrior. Inhale down and up and back. Exhale down, swan dive down. Remember the swans and the gracefulness. Straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale down, inhale up and step your right foot back. It's a way of not going into some of the more difficult postures of the lunge or the plank. So you come here, you straighten the front leg, arms come behind you, and you look at the part of yourself shining that light. And then this could have so many different metaphors. And one is making meaning in your life. Like, what's the meaning? Can you be of service anywhere? Take your fire, take your light out there in the world, and then come back up. And I'm grounded, and I'm stable, and then I'm warrior 2. This is, again, we've been playing with this as a metaphor for past, present, and future. And the present is who you are. It's most of what's happening here. The others are things that we learn from the past and the vision we have for the future. So create that vision. Part of that vision is changing your neural pathways to be, I am light. That's what I mostly am, light. And that I am at one with all that is. I am presence, and I'm at one with all that is and all of humanity. And then look up. Remember that you are the sky. It's sort of like knowing that you are light. Let's see, I'm not on the screen all the way. I'm trying out a new mat. I am the sky, and everything else is the weather. Now that's, you're the ocean, and everything else is the waves coming in. The weather is the thing that's changing. You are stable. Then taking that left hand, right arm over your head, or elbow, or hand on the floor or on a block, or on a chair. And again, you can do this seated in a chair. You're just working with the process, being the wise woman that you are to adapt to what your body needs. And you look at life from a new perspective. Look to the side and back up. Warrior 2, past, present, future. Vision of the future. Warrior goddess. And this is where we open our heart, use our hands, to do our service in the world, whatever it is. And it might be taking care of yourself. Remember, you can be light and you can be, working with your own healing process. And that's all you can do, because that's what you can do right now. And you can represent all those that are doing the same thing. 5-pointed star. Remember, we are the flower of life. We're actually a geometric light mathematical equation. And then drop the arms down and find your way down to look underneath. You can bend the knees and put your hands on the floor, or grab a block, or put your hands on the chair. And the idea, though, is to look underneath and get a whole new perspective. Turn everything upside down. Now, in some traditions, you can look underneath, turn everything upside down and go, there are dual universes. There's a lot of understandings that are floating around right now, trying to be settled into some kind of understanding within our consciousness. That dual universes has been a study for a long time. Why did we come to duality? Why did we need hot and cold? We can't know hot without knowing cold. Then before straightening the legs, I like the block myself, go side to side. But again, you can have your hands right on that chair and you can do the same thing. You don't have to go down that far. And you can bring the block up, and you're going side to side to really get a sense of those inner thighs. Or you can, just have your hands on the floor. If you have the flexibility, you can put fingers to fingers and get the elbow to go down to the floor. There's a lot of different pieces to this. And then hold one side and just feel it. And hold the other side. Notice what's working. You are embodied light. So you have to be in this body. And sometimes the body is speaking loudly, saying, slow down. And that was one of the messages in this piece that I sent you this morning in an email. Then back to center. Heel toe, bend the knees and your back up into warrior goddess to change sides. So we're going to go to the opposite side. So the left foot is back. So if you were over here and the right foot was back, you can just go warrior goddess and then you twist to the other side. But if you need to see me on the screen, then you'll need to step your left foot back. Get there. Now, when you get to this posture, you're like, where can you be stable? That back leg is straight, the foot is slightly turned. You'll have to figure out how far to turn it. You're really trying to judge what's right for your body. If you're doing this on a chair, you bring one hip on the chair and you're sitting like this, and here you are. This is the warrior. So, left foot back. Again, I look into another direction and I say, okay, it's different in this direction. It's been different. I've looked to the side. I've looked underneath. Straighten the front leg, arms come behind you, and stretch a hamstring, just because you're going to work with being embodied. Feel where your tightnesses are and look up. Now, some of you can take your hands and put it on your leg. Some of you can take your hands and put them on the floor. You can have your hands on the chair and also have this straight leg and look up. So you are adapting to your need. Breath. Then bring the knee, bend the knee, your back up. The heart is open, grounded in your light, grounded in the physicality of being embodied light. Then Virabhadrasana 2. The Sanskrit language is vibrational. So, saying Virabhadrasana, it took me a long time to be able to say that. But the base languages, they have this vibration within them that is about creation. So we're like recreating Virabhadrasana, the place within ourselves that's the strength to have us do service in the world or to heal. Let's just say you have to heal. You need this. Then look up You are the sky. You can pass this little one on. You are the sky. Everything else is the weather. And it was Pema Chodron that taught me that in the very beginning. She's one of my great teachers. Then over to the side, hand on the knee. This is called lateral angle, elbow or hand on the floor. So you've got a lot of possibilities there. And again, you can have your hand on a wall, on a table, on the back of a chair, or you can be seated and you can do this. Then back up, back to center. We're going to come right into 5-pointed star to change and shake it out. Inhale up, exhale. Inhale up, exhale. One more time. Deep inhale and hands to the heart. Bringing your hands up. And as you bring your hands down, you're going to bend the knees. And we've done these, all of these we've done before. So the standing series that I continue to do. We're going to add one new one today. But here we are. And this is the gentlest form of the awkward pose, or the it's Utkatasana in Sanskrit. So it's a little curve in the spine still. It's not like having the spine flat. It's tucking the tail underneath and having that little curve. The arms can be at your heart, out, or over your head. You can clasp the fingers if you want. And or you can just have your arms up. Yeah, not on the screen. Okay, I moved my mat too far. Okay, I got it. Then bring your hands to your heart. And those of you that want to do the spinal twist here, this is the one where you bend the knees and look to the side. And maybe you'll have a knee. You'll put the elbow on the knee, and maybe you'll be able to put the hand on the floor, the left hand, and bring the right arm up. And maybe you'll be able to look at it, and maybe not. Now, if you were doing this in the chair, I would just say, go to a spinal twist. Come to the side of the chair, twist around. So we're finding just a spinal twist standing. Decide which one of these is right for you. If you put your hands in prayer position and you have your elbows in alignment, this gives you a little support here in this posture. Then back up, all the way up. Inhale, all the way down, bend the knees, twist to the other side. Elbow on the knee, or just look to the side. Some people use a block. They put a hand on a block or the hand on the floor. So you are working with your own body and what it does. I usually choose the middle ground. And then inhale up and exhale. And shake it out. So a balancing posture today. We're going to do the dancer, and I do it for two reasons. One is to stretch the quad and get a sense of the front of our legs, from the knee to the pelvis. You can be at a wall. You don't have to be on a wall, but you can easily have one hand on a wall, and you catch your pants leg or your ankle, or if you have a strap nearby, you can use a strap. A lot of people use these straps for this one, is to, just put your foot into a strap and then you can work with it. If you're at a chair, you put your hand on a chair and the knee on the chair and the arm up, and you can maybe catch the pant leg or the ankle. So you're going to get your position, whatever you decide. And then you don't have to hold on to the wall, but if you want to, you can have one finger and you can look up and you can work the posture in your own way. You may even want to just work the posture. Stretch the quad, stretch the knee. And then hold and Focus on something not moving. Notice what happens to the opposite leg. And then release it at your own pace. Go to the other side. Again, you can start out easy, hand on the wall, knee on the chair, or you can be freestanding. Focus on something not moving, and then find your way to pressing out into the hand on the right side, on the ankle, or on the top of the foot. And then release when you're ready and shake it out. Take a breath. And another one. So the new posture we've done a little bit. Again, you can do this on a chair. You can have a block ready to do this. It's the triangle, Trikonasana. Okay, so right foot out, left foot turned in a little bit, just like you would with warrior. You know, bend the knee, that's warrior. But here you have a straight leg, and your pelvis is turned forward a little bit more than in the warrior, so that you can take your hand, reach over that right leg, and the hand goes down someplace on the leg or below the knee, and the other arm comes up. Now, again, you can use a block, and you can have your hand on a chair. You know, so it's never like you have to do something on the floor or all the way. I just sort of always choose something that naturally works for my body. It usually is the middle ground. So sometimes my hand has to be above my knee. Sometimes I can have it below. And this time the arms are straight. If you can, the arms are straight instead of in lateral angle with the arm over your ear. Okay, and up, and you're back here. Then to the other side. Sometimes you can just move your feet that way. And then that left arm, it's like it goes over that left leg as you reach out. So you're taking your torso, and the torso is going over before you just bring it down somewhere, and your arm comes up, and straight arm. Breathing. I am embodied light. Ooh, I am shining. I am sparkling. I am made of the stuff of stars. I am not separate from all of humanity. We're all made of the stuff of stars. And back up. And then back to five-pointed star. Five-pointed star is almost a rest. Bringing the arms down, bringing the arms behind you, lacing the fingers, or catching the forearms, or using a strap. So you're working with whichever one is right for you. For me, it's lacing the fingers, reaching up as though you could do a little back bend here, shoulders open, head in alignment. Imagine a nice curve of the spine from the center of the skull down. You don't drop and put the chin up. You're going to keep that neck in alignment. Then bring the head forward along with the torso, bend the knees, and the arms come behind you. Now, some people have the flexibility to straighten their legs. I don't. I need to bend my knees. Again, if you have a strap, very nice to use a strap. You know, it helps too. And then press into the feet, come up, take a breath, and drop the strap and shake out the arms. Shake out the legs. And we're going to come down to the floor. Now, if coming down to the floor works by putting your hands on the chair, then do that. So you're going to stand and get your feet grounded, then drop the chin to the chest and roll down the spine, noticing the vertebra as you do. Of course, you may have hopped down to the floor when I said that. I prepared you for coming down to the floor. Come down and bend the knees, and you come into ragdoll. Then step yourself back into downward dog. So if you already came down, come back onto your hands and knees and press into downward dog.
equal kind of connection between the feet and the hands. Breathing, stretching. You can always play in downward dog. You bend the knees, you're on your toes more. You bend the knees and you just see, how does my head end up going through my arms? Then down to the knees and bring your right knee right through your legs here. Now, this is the pigeon, and you can do it seated on a chair by bringing the right ankle over the left knee. You can do it by putting a block underneath your right hip and get another block to come down further. But first we're kind of on our hands and pressing up. Then you might want to come down to put your head on a block. Some of you will have the flexibility to put your head all the way on the floor. You can also do the thread the needle on your back instead of this one. And you can also turn this into mermaid position by bending the knees and you come down on the elbows. So that would be gentler, and you're just going to feel different kinds of stretches. We haven't done pigeon in a long time, so a lot of this series today we are doing because we haven't done it in a long time. So take a couple breaths here and just notice what you're feeling. Notice what the light would look like if you could draw the light, or you could imagine the light around your body. If you were shimmering light embodied and the body is doing an action, what does the light look like? Imagine the light from the heart, and imagine you've got the back of your body lit and the front of your body lit. Coming through those chakras, and of course now we're working with 12 chakras. From there, just come back up and stretch the front surface of the body, and just also feel the hip flexors and feel what's going on the left side and the right side. Bring yourself into hands and knees and a little bit of just a simple cat-cow. And again, you can do this on the edge of a chair. You just move the spine. And then I'm going to use the block again, but you bring the left leg through, and you're not going to see that block on the screen, but I'm putting it under my left hip. And so you're experimenting all the time, and every day is different. So you have to honor the body and what it needs every day. And then coming down, and again, to make this gentler in the body, you go and you bend the knees and you just come down on the elbows. You can hold the head up if you want with a block, or you can put the hands up and thumbs up and hold the head with the thumbs at the third eye, or stack your fists. So you're choosing, and you're gaining body wisdom to know which one of these shapes is the shape your body needs to take. It doesn't matter. We're just practicing being fully present, being in the body. And you can imagine why. If we're 80% quantum, 80% light, 80% non-physical, then we would have a hard time staying fully present in the body. And right now we're called even further. We're called to do these practices so we can make this quantum shift. It's a leap. We could call it a quantum leap into the new paradigm. It's also called the paradigm shift, the shift of the ages and the great turning. And there's probably many more words for it out there. And then walk yourself up. Come into hands and knees. So you're just coming to hands and knees, and you're moving the spine again. with the breath. Before we come down all the way, we'll come back into child. And remember, you're choosing child. Here's a variety of ideas. One is to bring the knees really wide and you're down on the elbows, holding up your head. One is to put the knees together and you're just folding back with those feet together. And for some of us, that means that we're not going to come down as far. And you may even be somebody who likes that better, but you need to put a cushion on top of your legs and come down. I've been choosing the wide angled child with the knees open. It just feels really good for my lower back and my sacrum. So you can try that and see if it works for you. If you're on a chair, you just fold over on the chair. If you're on a bed and you're on your back already, then you just pull your knees in. They're all the same with different amounts of weight that are responding to gravity in different ways. And as we move through the world, we have to stay fully present no matter what where our body is in space. Okay, and then when you're ready, we're going to turn ourselves over. And come down to the floor. And begin getting grounded onto the bed or the floor or somewhere that's working for you by doing this cerebral spinal fluid balancer by pushing off from the feet. Now, if you didn't do anything but this in a day, this would be enough. Any one of these little posture series would be enough. Yoga classes to be, when they're, an hour long or whatever, they can be too much. What your body needs, you have to decide, and you might need to, in any one day, choose one or two things to do. Even if it's for 30 seconds or 1 minute, you're doing something to take that embodiment of the light and stay fully present in the body. Now, if you can imagine the spine and you can imagine inside your body, there are 7 layers of energy outside our aura, and there are 7 layers from the cerebral spinal into from the edges of the energy system inside the body to the very core of the spine. Okay. Then drop the knees side to side and feel that kind of, it's kind of like a massage for the lower back. Dropping the knees side to side. And then take a few moments on one side and head turns opposite. And sometimes I just like to make it easy on myself. Just the feet are apart, the knees are apart, and it's just wherever my body lands without effort. An effortless spinal twist. And this is a great one to do in the morning before you get up, and in the evening before you go to sleep. While you're in bed, you get in bed and then do a little bit of yoga. Breath, witnessing. So you breathe and you're relaxing. Feel the weight of the body into the earth. Switch sides. Head turns opposite the knees. Those of you who want more fitness yoga, you can do the more advanced, put the knees, feet, and thighs on top of each other, or you could cross the bottom leg over the top leg. Breathing, relaxing, feeling, witnessing the moment, allowing what is, whatever is. And then bring some joy to your heart and see what that means to you. Breathe gratitude through the heart. That could bring the joy, an image of something that's joyful. And come to center.
Lengthen the legs out, lengthen the arms above your head, stretch from the heels of the hands to the heels of the feet. Oh, hold the breath. Oh, and then let it go. Just take a moment as you're settling into the earth. And then see if there's one more thing you want to do. Personally, I'm going to come into reclined goddess here, but you could just come into Shavasana or anything else that you might want to do. You could use the block and bring your legs up or legs up the wall. So reclined goddess can be done with or without props. If you have a rolled up blanket or a bolster or some cushions nearby, you can put them under the, you sit on the floor and that goes under the spine and it opens the shoulders. And in this world of embodiment and embodied light, and that I am light. Let the brow soften. So if you need to like rest the eyes, and if the eyes are taking in too much light right now, then grab, if you have a strap nearby or a piece of clothing, you can put that over the eyes and just rest with that. It's a lot to take the light and dim it for your eyes. Let the cheeks relax. Open up the mouth so let the jaw relax. Just gently. Relax the forehead and the ears and the eyes. Relax the feet and the toes and the fingers. Relax each of the legs. Relaxing the arms. Whether you're using blocks or not, see how much you can relax. And again, you can always have cushions instead of blocks. If you've gone to a chair, then just seat it on the chair, and you might just sit back into the chair and get as comfortable as you can as you let gravity find its way. Feet flat on the floor. See if you can understand relaxing the inner organs. Imagining the whole torso filled with those organs and just being able to relax each one of them. Imagine them sending and doing their jobs. And then go down to the cellular level. Imagine each of the organelles doing their work for you, inside of you. Each cell a little earth. Each body, each human body, a little earth. Interdependence between all parts of the self, all physicality parts of the self, all emotional parts of the self, all spiritual parts of the self, all relational parts of the self, and all intellectual parts of the self that can even see, the shape of your organs because you've seen drawings or images. As your heart is open in either Shavasana or reclined goddess or with your legs up the wall, wherever you are, allowing the hands to be open and the palms face up. And then imagine the light being shining out of your body through all of those chakras, plus the 7, plus the 5 others that we've been studying below the body, so down at my toes, and then 4 that are above the body. So there's 1 that's below the body, and one, and then 4 that are above. Chakras. And they call them crystalline chakras. They're not the same form as the 7 chakras. They are crystalline in structure. They are stars rather than vortexes. If you've ever seen images of the 7 chakras. And the ultimate of colors that we've been working with is drawing earth energy through the peach colored light of the reds, the oranges, the yellows, the pinks, and the slight purples that all come together in the flame of the heart, and then expanding out from the heart up to the 6th and 7th chakra into in the integration, imagination, inspiration, and intuition of yourself. The sensory, the new expanded sensory perceptions that expand out into the multidimensional human. And then above to the ultimate of the opal at the divine matrix, at the understanding of the quantum field, including all of the images that you've seen from the satellites that are out there, from the telescopes that are out there beyond this planet. We are part of it all. Imagine that opal color filling your body as this amazing translucent universe to remind you of the light and being made of the stuff of stars. Then bring your hands together in a prayer position at your heart. Namaste, like thank you, and gratitude, and hello, goodbye, and I honor you, and I honor me. I honor that I took out time to do this practice, and that in me doing this practice, I'm supporting the growth of humanity, humanity's consciousness. And then we hold in our hearts all those who suffer and all those who are having a hard time finding that light. And then we hold in our hearts all those that are in the process of working with the deathing process, which is also about light. There's a tunnel at the end of the light, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and this comes through the wisdom of the third eye, the deep, dark indigo blue, that heads us to the understanding of the multidimensional human. Then bring the thumbs to the third eye and just be there for a moment with the fingertips together. Then back to the heart. May we have peace, and may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace. Peace, shalom, salam, pak shanti, pache mir malohia, frieden hang sang. May all beings have peace, be safe, be healthy and strong. Whether in their living process or their dying process, there's still a healthy and strong within that. There's still the light. There's still the love. There's graceful aging. Then take a deep breath in. Send that all out and bring the arms back out. Lengthen out the legs if you're in a posture. Open yourself into the 5-pointed star. Take any props out from under you. Take off the strap if it's over your eyes. 5-pointed star. Send it out. Send it out with the flower of life. Then if you're